Hello, I am your host, Kathy Chester, and welcome to the Move It or Lose It podcast, a podcast about all things that move the mind, body, and soul. The Move It or Lose It podcast is for information, awareness, and inspirational purposes only. I am not a doctor, and I don't even play one on TV, so please consult your doctor before making any medical decisions. The views expressed by advertisers, guests, or contributors are their opinions and not necessarily the views of the Move It or Lose It podcast. Hello, welcome to another edition of Move It or Lose It. So, you may have seen this gentleman on my podcast before. We have Chris, I almost called you Christopher. That's probably what your mother calls you. Chris Hughes, who is the CEO of FootScientific, and his daughter, we've got Jane Hughes with us as well. And something that you may not know, and that I found out a few months ago, is Jane has Lyme's disease. And I'm really excited. It sounds like a weird thing to say, but really happy to have you on because through the years of me working with people with autoimmune diseases and brain injuries and things like that, I've always felt that people just don't know and understand a lot about Lyme's disease. So I was just sitting there exhausted, and I'm happy and very grateful to have you on. I'm just really curious, Jane. I want to know, when were you diagnosed with Lyme's disease? How long ago?
Uh, it was about a year and a half ago, a little less than that.
Okay.
I was down flat for quite some time before that.
Okay.
It's a pretty fast diagnosis, actually, all things considered. It took us a little less than a year to get the
Okay.
diagnosis. Um, we met one poor soul at the clinic who'd been bounced around for 8 years before anybody
Oh,
could,
wow.
because a lot of the problem is that the tests for Lyme are not very reliable. Uh,
Sure.
they often come back, uh, false, or well,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to take it several times to be sure,
Okay.
often, and so I took it twice, both times came back negative, "No, you don't have Lyme," and then, went to a specialist doctor who prescribed a more expensive and intense test, and, yep, definitely have at least 3 strains of Lyme, so that's fun.
So where, so okay,
So
so
part of
people
the
often
problem is
think,
the U.S. system
uh,
doesn't really cover or diagnose for very many strains, um,
Yes.
right,
and so you waste a lot of time, and so we had to
sure,
go to Europe.
right,
Not to We didn't have to leave to Europe, but we had to get a test that they do their thing there in Europe.
okay,
So part of it's just the system of reimbursement here restricts things, and they do that
right,
for good reasons, I suppose, monetarily, but it's not always the best thing for the poor person who doesn't know what
right,
they have, and yet they can't
exactly,
move suddenly.
Yeah, they bounce me
exactly.
around to a lot of specialists.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that so often with different diseases, even with MS. It's like you think we'd know. I mean, the 1800s, we were dipping people in hot water and putting them back up again, saying, "You think they seem pretty sleepy? Let's do it one more time." So I mean, we've come a little further, but it's
I
still
mean,
it's
they got
like
up to some weirder stuff than that in the 1800s.
I cannot tell you how excited I am to announce my partnership with Foot Scientific. Their Elevate 360 drop foot solution is amazing. It's lightweight. It has customized sizing, which is amazing. I've been in braces where they are much too big and bulky. This one has memory foam. It's comfortable. I have walked my dog. I have run with it already. I have danced in it, and it is amazing. It has stainless steel anchors, which you can wear them in any shoe you want to. But to be able to have them connect to your laces so that you can lift the foot so that the drop foot isn't so bad and know that they're safe in there is so incredible. To be able to have this, to be able to have it on your ankle and then attach it to a tennis shoe, to attach it to a heel, actually, or a sandal is absolutely amazing. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be a part and partner up with Foot Scientific. They are truly here to meet our needs. So I encourage you to go on to the website at footscientific.com, check them out, and of course, use my discount code. It is MS Disrupted, all caps 30, and you'll get $30 off your pair. And also, don't forget 60-day guarantee. If it doesn't work for you, then you can return it. And that is why I love Foot Scientific. They're a company that truly cares about our needs. So don't forget, check them out. I love my partnership with them. Have a great day. It's like, come on, do we still not know
Mercury
that much more?
suppositories.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So
good if
with
you have
Lyme,
leeches.
yeah.
I'm
So
just kidding.
with Lyme's, like, so they assume, okay, I was camping, I was in a heavily wooded area, I got ticks, my dogs got them too. So, what do I do? Take the same stuff my dog takes? What should I do? So, I mean, I'm just talking to like the stupidest person that knows
Mhm.
nothing about Lyme's disease. So, how do you check yourself for ticks? How do you know? And how, what is the first symptom that you may have?
Listen, so interestingly, I have no recollection whatsoever of having been bitten by a tick. And quite a large proportion of people with chronic Lyme have the same situation. Whether this is that it happened and I just didn't notice, which is entirely possible and happens a lot more
Sure,
often than you think. Um, or whether I managed to acquire this in some nefarious other way. Uh, but yeah, quite a lot of the time, I mean, if you do get bitten by a tick, I think enough people are
sure,
educated about like, oh, go see a doctor about that,
yeah,
bullseye rash, all that jazz.
sure,
But it's a lot rarer in the western half of the United States,
sure.
and so we're a lot less cautious. I It's entirely possible I picked it up because I have some good friends out on the East Coast who I go back to visit regularly, and,
Okay,
we'd go hiking around, might have got it there,
yeah,
but we don't know, and it just stayed dormant for a really long
okay,
in me, and we're pretty sure that what kicked it off was, and a lot of autoimmune diseases work the same way, is you get something else or some stress in
sure.
your life and it fires everything off. So I got COVID pretty hard and bad, and
Okay.
might have
And that was like the
Exacerbated
kicked it off.
everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
The
set everything
trigger.
off.
Yeah.
And so it
So,
also set off some thyroid problems, which are
okay.
not uncommon.
Fun.
Yeah. So we were really eager when we found the thyroid problems. We're like, "Ta-da! We have solved
Yeah.
no more
It's it.
falling over at work for you." Uh,
Right.
and I did get quite a bit better for a few months and,
Okay.
uh, then started sagging back down again.
Oh, I remember when I
Oh.
had Raynaud's and I'm like, done. It's what I had. Good deal.
Mhm.
So, and unfortunately, if that wasn't it, but it's like when you find something,
Relieved to
it's like,
find it
good
was a
deal.
diagnosis, yeah, and then no.
So
Yeah.
then you start to go downhill again.
Mhm.
And I
And
think that the
then,
bacteria gets more clever. That's what I'm concerned about. And so it kind of like entrenches itself in,
yeah.
and it kind of resists this and then goes to this. And I
Mhm.
Hmm.
think there's some of that
It's
that
very
happens.
adaptable.
So,
And, once the biofilm barriers get
Yeah.
going, it's hard to
Right. Right.
eradicate, so
Yeah.
yeah. And
So,
the thing about Jane, by the way, because I only say, it's funny that I even need to say this, but I guess it's kind of interesting that I do, is that there's no symptoms. What I mean by interesting is culturally interesting. There's no
uh,
that I have to even mention this, but there were no symptoms of lethargy
yeah.
or a need to be in bed.
Right.
There was no she's never had a depression. Um,
Right.
it was just something that came out of the blue that wasn't associated with, I guess I'm trying to say, in the head of any kind. She's
Right.
very
Right.
motivated. She writes. She's a private cook. Has a lot going
You
on.
are? You're a private cook?
yeah, I'm a private chef.
Dang.
It was the best
Yeah,
I want you to
yeah,
come here. I want you
right,
near
right.
me.
I
Wow,
can't I
private
can't
chef.
stand very long these days, so no cooking for me.
Oh yeah. You gotta have a nice like area where you can like sit and do that somehow.
Now sitting up is also out of the
Yeah, true.
this is my sitting up for
True.
today, this podcast, and then I will go
Yeah,
back.
thank I'm grateful for that. But wow,
Well,
so
anyway, yeah. So it's an
there
issue
wasn't any.
because because there's so much like, well, why don't you just do that, or
Mhm.
so
I
Yeah.
think I was pretty fortunate,
Yeah.
in that I was very, very energetic and active. I had a very physically demanding job. And
Mhm.
so when I was suddenly like, no, I need to stay in bed all day, it was a very radical departure
Yeah.
from usual
Yeah.
everything. And also because I don't have any history of depression and anxiety,
Yeah.
uh, I only had one doctor suggest that it was all in my head rather than numerous. Uh,
Thankfully, right. Right.
yeah, and
I think that's
I
important.
do. You show up like being smiley and cheerful, and they tend to take you
Right.
seriously, which is
Yeah.
distressing. Uh, but
But
yeah,
very true. I think that when you come in and they think like, hey, something's not right. And when you've got more of a support group saying, this is not her. This is not who this person is. I
yeah,
think
I
that
didn't
helps a
have to deal
lot.
with a lot of the disbelief and similar
But that's not to be denigrating towards people who do have depression prior. It just makes it so much
Oh
harder.
yeah.
it's harder for
Oh,
I'm
them.
for
just saying,
sure.
yeah, because then they have to have to deal with that. Well, have you ever had depression? And then they go down the wrong path because they don't so many professionals don't know what to do or say.
Right. Right.
So
And
it
you can
just
understand it if you've
yeah.
tried to get a diagnosis forever and ever, and you're just so fed up and you're in so much pain, you're so exhausted. And it's like, I don't know, but could you? You're the person I'm going to. Could you figure this out? So you understand those people who go in and they're just so exhausted. So you went in and you were able to get the diagnosis quicker,
Mhm.
and so now you're at a spot. So I wanted to read a little bit about, because I love what you put. So emotionally, so you get the diagnosis, and I asked you emotionally, how are you feeling right now? Like I know there must have been a lot of like, what is this? What does this mean? I remember getting
Frankly,
MS
the
young.
diagnosis was just straight relief. It was just,
Okay, yeah,
oh, thank goodness, we know. Uh,
there's an answer to this. I'm not
yeah.
crazy. This is like
Mhm.
I at least know what the heck I'm dealing with. And there
And
is a
yeah,
huge
that's
for most people when they know what it is, it's like, okay, I can at least understand it and I get an idea how to tackle it.
mhm. And because treatments exist for Lyme in a way
Yeah.
they don't for a lot of other chronic illnesses. So
Yeah.
it was very hopeful. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster since then with, thinking the thing would work and it works maybe a little
Right.
or it doesn't work at all uh but we
How was
continue.
that for mom and dad when you found out what it was? The same kind of relief, or was it like, what does this mean?
Um, you mean when we found out what it was?
Yeah, when you finally
Well,
got
of
the
course, when you
answer,
find
okay,
out
now.
what something is, then you think that you have then an answer, but that's not very straightforward because on these kind of autoimmune diseases, there's a lot of ambiguity and there's a lot of different options, and there's a lot of
Mhm.
people who kind of I don't want to be cynical, but who kind of prey on the on the lack on the people's kind of real sudden need to have help
Right.
Mhm.
and they're desperate. And so you
Yeah.
have lots of different options. You can
Sure.
easily spend hundreds of thousands of dollars just going
Oh
for
gosh, yeah.
treatment. And so knowing which one is going to be the most helpful and not wasting the time. And
Yeah.
then when you find somebody that you hope that they're competent,
They know what
who
they're
that
talking about.
that hasn't always happened.
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
been so yeah, of course for mom and dad, it's like you're fearful that that you're not doing enough all the time,
Right.
that you should be doing more, that you could be doing more, but then you don't really have a lot of faith in what's out there, and so
Sure.
and so it's hard
Yeah.
to ride the line of what's best, and
Yeah, and then you also kind of get warned against trying too many things at once,
yeah,
both
Yeah.
because it could overwhelm the body and
system,
also because of just scientific method. You don't know which one
Right.
worked.
For sure. I
right,
remember
One
the
do we
two
replicate?
hospitals getting together, and I just brought all of my medications in a big ton. And I was like, do we think that I'm over medicated? Just a thought. Because there was so many of the same things. And I'm like, I'm so tired of this. And it's like,
Uh,
I'd had it for enough years where I was like, I'm not doing this. And just FYI, I'm not taking most of this, in case you guys wondered. So it's
and
like you
that's good,
do
that
kind of
we don't.
lose, right? It's like you guys don't even think I don't think you guys all know what it is I'm taking or not taking. But I think that there can be like they're just like stop focusing in. They say they're a team, and you're like,
Mhm.
okay, that sounds great, but
But
are
who's
you?
coordinating this team?
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
Who
yeah,
is the
and
patient?
right,
who is coordinating the team?
right.
Well, so much
Who coordinates
energy
this
has
team?
gone, even with one clinic, so much of our energy has been taken in kind of like having to self-coordinate.
Babies.
Right.
Let's be honest. It's babysitting.
Is it?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. It
Oh,
is.
yeah.
You are always self-advocating, even when you have a team, because you're like, who leads this team? And
Mhm.
how
Who's
do I
good
get
here?
the portal? I love the portal. It's like, okay,
Oh,
but
I hate that stupid
who's I
portal.
know. I always want to throw that damn portal and be like, you know what? Screw your portal. Because I'm like, who leads the portal? They're like, well, did you hear from this doctor? The doctor that I have nothing to do with, that doesn't even help me, like, no, I've never seen this doctor. So why do I have to go to the portal for this? So I'm sure, and I think people neglect to see sometimes beyond what they're struggling with and their disease, that we all have them. You know, I've got my rheumatoid portal, I've got my epilepsy portal, my MS portal. And so we don't see beyond like the crap we have. And I
Mhm.
think then you hear something else like Lyme's disease or something like that, and you're like, well, I don't even know about that. So what? And it really is sad that our heart kind of is limited at this one thing. And so that's why I'm so curious. So emotionally, okay, you've got your family, you've got hopefully friends that care. Because I know
Really good
sometimes they're
friends.
like,
Yeah. They're
it's
darling.
like, I love when we talk. We just did this in the women's group last night. We talked about fatigue and how frustrating it is when you say I'm so fatigued, and they're like, "Girlfriend, I got you. Me too." You're like, "Really? You get my fatigue?" So that is a whole nother thing that you kind of gotta
No,
love
I have a
you.
wonderful set of friends, and they are used to me
Good.
having the approximate energy of a rubber cannonball. And so I think they all got extremely alarmed when I was like, "No, I
Yeah.
haven't got out of bed in a few days." They were like,
Yeah.
"Well, that's"
Right.
And that's the important thing too, because it sounds like
Partnering
you and
on it.
I are very similar, like little energizer bunnies. And
Mhm.
so when I would be in bed for a day or two, everybody'd be like, "Oh my gosh, like we got to take care," because it's not, I can't. I mean, your dad knows I'm up to like 12, 1, and so I'm always on the go, on the go, on the go. So if our personalities are similar and we're in bed for a day, then everybody knows something is wrong. So
Yeah.
it's good that
Yeah,
you've
there's
got
a
that.
certain amount of luxury in having that
Yeah.
contrast.
Right, right. So emotionally, you've got that. Physically, where are you at right now?
Oof.
That's
Doing
not to say that emotionally hasn't been easy. It has been easy. She
oh,
has the support, but there comes a time, where I don't need to put, but there comes a time where you start to feel like, when does this ever end? And
Oh, yeah.
and how useful am I? Do I feel? And I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't mean to
No,
talk.
and I didn't mean to say that emotionally I meant that you got some support emotionally.
Yeah.
I can imagine like the emotional roller coaster of the depression, anxiety, and stuff like that, the what's next, and all of those things emotionally take a toll. And I know one day it's like I'm okay, the next day I'm like, and so I'm like, I don't know, just I can't talk right now. So I can imagine that there's those
mm.
times, and it's like hour by hour sometimes. And then one day I'm like, I can go out with my girlfriends. Other days I'm like, no, I can do nothing. So I'm sure that it's similar for you as well.
I mean, I think like the thing is, oh, I lost my train of thought. The brain fog is also a thing. Hooray!
Yeah, I
Um,
know that.
like it is difficult, but it's mostly difficult in the aftermath of a failed treatment or getting your
Yeah,
hopes up. Um, but emotionally, I've had so much good support,
yeah,
and I've kind of had a lot of um, spiritual experiences
yeah,
that got me through that, this is uh
Meaningful, has meaning.
meaningful,
yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Um, and it kind of helps a lot, I think, for me. I don't have a lot of the chronic pain that is
yeah,
very common with
Mm.
these. And I think I would be significantly more emotionally volatile if that was
sure.
the case. Um, I mean, I have a kind of an unusual approach to this whole autoimmune disease in that I just have the fatigue. Uh,
Yeah,
and it's I have all of the fatigue, in fact.
Just and all.
Yes,
Yeah,
but it does mean that I, am a little bit more patient with things because I just wanna sleep, and then I get to sleep,
yeah,
and and I don't want to do anything, and I can't do anything.
right, right, right. We talked,
And
it's interesting because we talked about that in the support group last night. So tell me if this means something to you. We talked about fatigue not just looking like fatigue. It can look like, when you've got fatigue, it looks like sometimes our cognitive issues show up, right? So when we're fatigued, it's like cognitively we're not all there. We
Mhm,
lose our words. Anxiety shows up because we're so fatigued, and there's so many other things that come with it, with fatigue, rather than just being sleepy. There's a lot of things that come with that fatigue that goes with it. There's sometimes a just a lack of wanting to participate in things because we are so fatigued.
mhm.
There's feelings of, I don't know what to do next. I'm just overwhelmed. There's a feeling of just this overwhelmness. And do you feel any of those?
Not hugely. I think for me in particular, like, I think I just sort of kind of put my entire everything, expectations, emotions, physicality, everything into a sort of hibernation. And so I feel like this disease has been mostly just a very quiet process of waiting.
Okay.
And it's important to keep hopes up and to have
Yeah.
something to look forward to because as soon as you lose that, ooh, it gets bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's always because there's so many different treatments for Lyme,
Right.
there's a kind of always been a next thing to look forward to, and I suffer from intense chronic optimism, and so I'm always
That's
very convinced
awesome.
that the next
That's
thing
good.
is going to be it, and so I'm always just kind of waiting about 2 months ahead
Yeah.
for things to get better,
I
uh,
love that.
and,
That's so good.
it's very helpful to kind of to reduce yourself in this way, but there's
Mm.
also a certain amount of concern about, like, eventually this will end, and I'm going to have to be a real, full, large person again, and I can sort of foresee a lot of struggles of, like, having to stretch back out after you've been curled into a fetal position for a really long time could be kind of
Sure.
painful. But for
Yeah.
now, it's serving my needs is to
Sure.
not have to think too far ahead.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just
I think
you
that's very smart
do a lot of
because we
stuff.
can go too far ahead, and that can be so much destruction for us physically,
Very
emotionally. We
And
do
in not
that.
just looking and not just the issue of looking forward in optimism, but also being able to look back with compassion. We
Yeah.
were talking today about how you can't if you have a chronic illness, you may be suffering 100% innocently, and you probably are. And it's
Mhm.
not something that you did. And I think so many people, because we're in a kind of a causal material world where it's
Yeah.
easy to do to create causal connections and to blame. And so
Yeah.
blame is part of our culture. And so we self-blame. And so the fact is, most people with chronic illness just need to really let that go.
Mhm.
$100%.
You didn't do anything.
And
Yeah.
then also a lot of the people who very unhelpfully say, "Well, have you tried?"
Yes.
They are doing it
Out of
as
care.
well, out of care, but also out of a certain nervousness for themselves. They
Yeah. Yeah.
think, "This won't happen to me. There are
Right.
solutions." And so if they can
Good point.
convince themselves that there is a
Yes.
then they can also convince themselves,
It won't happen to me.
"This won't happen out of the blue
Right.
to me." Like,
Yes.
things don't
Very
happen.
wise.
Good.
That's really wise, Jane. That
Yeah.
is so common with all of our diseases, that we get those people that will always say, "You know what? I was reading, and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
should try this."
And
And
I'm
I'm
just like
like,
over here like, "Ah, the illness
"Yeah."
in my body now that I've tried that kale and sawdust smoothie."
Yes. Or the bee sting therapy. I'm like, "You go first, and then
Mhm.
let me know how that felt, and then I will follow you, girlfriend." But it is constant, the on what you could
Trying to think
try.
that somebody could do everything right and still
Right.
be miserably sick.
Yes.
And so you want to assume that they're just
That's the key
trying
issue.
everything.
It's
Yes.
terrifying to think that, yeah, that at the end of the road of trying these things that you this is just something that you're dealing with. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
Right.
it can just
Right.
happen, and nobody wants to
Yeah.
do that.
I've had every spiritual thing. Did you go up for that altar call? What do you believe that you sinned? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not exactly sure what I will look
Probably I
into.
did sin.
I offended the great god of ticks,
Right. I'm
and he
like,
has
I don't
cursed me.
know. But it is like I think I've had everything in the years of like what I could do better, what did I do, what sin did I commit? I'm like, so those things are crazy. But
Wow.
yeah, so you'll hear it all as you go. Your parents will hear it all. My kids heard things like, oh, I remember the stuff like, oh, my aunt died, but your mom won't. And I'd be like, what did you say
Right.
to my kid? But those things are crazy. But so what is the what I wanted to ask you too is what is it like when you're looking towards your future? I mean, the future of like not so much the medications and stuff, but when you think about, hey, I always wanted to do this. We talked about being a chef and all that stuff.
Oh, I miss it so much more than I
I
thought I.
bet. I think I miss what you're gonna be because I think like I want to taste this. Um, what do you look at now without taking so much off? Because it's easy for us to do that sometimes. But I think back to being diagnosed and I think, well, can't really do that. But what is it that you think practically like, I'm not taking this off. I want to do this.
Mm. I I was never hugely interested in, like, physical fitness, it was something you needed to do to be able to do other things. But I think that that's going to be a major part of my life, not only just for the sheer glee of being able to, move. That sounds,
Right.
but also, I feel like I've gotten a, up close insight into what it would feel like to be very elderly and fragile,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I would, prefer not to do this
Yeah.
twice. And so I
Yes.
believe that, like, yoga and all sorts of things are going to be
Yeah.
a part of my life. Uh,
Yeah.
I miss hiking intensely.
Yeah.
I did not expect that would be like I'm just like, I wanna
Yeah.
try and hike
Yeah.
and
For
be
sure.
I've been, I love my couch. It's a lovely couch. I have a great view. I have flowers and a bird feeder.
Oh, nice. Ooh, I
And,
love birds.
yet I think that this couch is gonna get burned at the end of
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. That's good.
Jane has a deep appreciation for nature.
Yeah, oh,
And Jane,
that's
sorry.
awesome.
Yeah, that's me.
I love that. I do as well, obviously, the tick.
Yeah.
But I
Less
do
appreciation for
yeah,
that
that's
aspect
appreciation
of
for
nature.
ticks.
There's
But
nature.
I love nature. I feel most at peace when I'm outdoors, when I'm in nature. My kids think I've definitely my grandmother now because I've got the bird app now, and I'm like
Oh,
trying to
yeah.
talk to my therapy dog, and I'm like, "What do you think
Middle
it
age
was?"
is
She's like,
it's
"I don't
astonishing
know."
how bird watching creeps up on you.
And
Like,
now my
one day
brother
you
and
have
I
no
both do
interest,
it.
and the next day you're
Yeah.
like, "My gosh, is that a lesser goldfinch?"
Yeah, right.
And the kids are like, "What are you and Peter talking about?" I'm like, "We're talking about our bird app." They're like, "Oh my gosh, you guys have become nerds." I'm like, "Kinda, yeah," but it's
I
like we're
started out
really
as a
into it.
nerd, so it's fine.
It is to become a little nerdy. So I love that. I love that I think it's like finding those peaceful places that you just can rest in.
Mhm.
And I think that's important. And I think a lot of us find that in nature. And I
I
think
have
that's awesome.
yeah, nature, but, like, nerdery in particular, I recommend very highly. Uh, a certain amount of geekery has been my salvation through this entire illness.
What is your biggest geekery?
Oh, currently, I am profoundly hyperfixated on Journey to the West, which is a 16th century Chinese classical novel.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You're gonna have to tell me about that.
don't
No, I
listen,
No,
mean you
don't
can tell
start
me
it.
after. No, you
I
tell me after.
will.
That
Every
gets
word is
really
interesting,
nerdy.
but we don't have 10 hours
No,
to
you tell
start.
me after. I get really
Um,
geeked out on
but,
things, and the
like,
kids are like,
it has been a wonderful, wonderful gift to have something to hyperfixate on,
"Yeah,
'cause it's something that I can do and
yeah,
love and look just get so much enjoyment out of. without having to leave said couch.
Yeah.
And
That will
and
be
so I
burned at some point.
yeah, and I still get to feel like I'm learning something, that there's something important and exciting that I can engage with.
So
Yeah.
so she writes fan fiction that is the most
Yeah.
Journey to the West fan fiction in the world.
Oh boy, because nobody cares about Journey to the West.
So you
Oh,
write
that's been him too.
Yeah,
as
so
well,
you're
right?
right.
Okay.
So yeah, I
I
get
love
to
that.
participate in this itty bitty
Interactive.
community that is, very niche, and it's been really, really helpful for me to
Yeah.
have just something to love and learn about.
Yeah. I
That
think it's when we lose that or we lose our like a purpose and whether it's that or whether it's something else and we lose that, I think it's when we start to become really
yes,
anxious and really kind of depressed.
and sometimes you have to kind of artificially manufacture a very small, easy, approachable
Absolutely.
purpose.
It could be for me, it was Star Wars, really geeky for a bit. I went way deep and I was like, all right, I'm going to come out of Star Wars for a while. But it could be, whatever it is for us, it's just that time and season that we get wherever we're going to go deep in. It just can't be that black hole that we can't come out of, that dark
Yeah,
space.
yeah,
But other
and
than that,
whatever ridiculous thread you're holding on to,
for
you know,
sure.
is very helpful. It might be
Absolutely.
very tacky colors in your particular thread, but it's helping, gosh darn it.
Introducing the Pulse device. Cutting edge, wearable device, revolutionary, wellness designed to stimulate circulation, reduce harsh pain and tightness, and speed up recovery. The Pulse device uses advanced vibrotactile technology trusted by patients, clinicians, and wellness professionals. Whether you're recovering from an injury, battling a neural condition, or just want to feel the best every day, Pulse helps you recharge so that you can live and feel better. Lightweight, powerful, and easy to use. Experience better performance, better recovery, and a better you. Order now and save $30 using my code MSDisrupted at pulsedevice.com. The Pulse device is your health recharged. You won't be disappointed. Get it now for yourself. I have it. I love it. Go ahead and grab it. I love that. No, I think it's really important. I love to hear that with my different support groups is like, what do you do to keep yourself from falling down that black hole? And it
Mhm.
can be, I love to hear what other people do. And it's like some things I have no interest in whatsoever, but it doesn't matter because it's their thing. So I think
Mhm.
that's super cool. So
Yeah,
Dad, you're really interested in it too?
Oh no, not at all.
I appreciate this man for pretending to be interested for hours at a
I
time.
love it.
No.
I think it's great.
Actually,
I love that.
I do like the themes. I mean, I don't,
Okay.
but I've never been very good at details. And so, but when he
Okay.
talks to me about the kind of the themes, and the psychology
Right.
of it,
The
and I
allegory.
think, oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I like the allegory
But I
stuff.
can't
I just
follow it.
like that.
But I can't follow it because I can't remember who was and that kind of thing.
You just have to get more into it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I'll have
so
to
this is
look at it with
clearly my
you.
job.
So I see you got a cane. So
Mhm.
has that been your favorite? I
I
remember when I
love
was
my
first
cane.
diagnosed, everybody sent me walking sticks, and I was like, F you, F you, F you, and I just threw them all away. So I was like,
It made
who
me
the hell
sad.
sends
It
a
made
person with a walking stick in their first diagnosis? So, so
Yeah.
was that something? I love the bird.
I know, isn't it great?
Yes, I love that. I'm like, if you're gonna send me one now, it's been a long time, send me one with a bird, a cardinal or something,
Of
please.
course.
Mr. and Mrs. on the end. So I'm like, don't give me like a dumb walking stick. I want something cool.
Mhm.
Um, so that works for you really well.
Yeah, it's helpful. It's,
Good.
it's, reassuring.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And we need that. And I think sometimes people feel like they look at us weird, like, do you really? It's like, yeah, I do. I need that so I feel like I'm not gonna
The
fall on my face. I'd
most
like to
helpful thing
not.
about it is if you have a cane and you need to, like, cross the street in front of a car, they're much more patient with you. than if you were just
Whatever.
shuffling at the average pace of the octogenarian across
Sometimes
the
they
road for
are.
no apparent reason. They think
Yes.
that you're screwing with them, but if you have a cane, all
Yeah.
is forgiven.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Because I would say even with the brace, before I wore the brace, you can't see my illness. So
Mhm.
they do now that I'm walking with the brace, people are more apt to move on the other side. And I'm like, thank you. So where they don't before, I'm like, so I think that sometimes it's important for us to have that so that they can see, yeah, I am on the struggle bus. Can you help? So I think that sometimes that's helpful. So I
Yeah.
love that. I think that that's important too. And I think it's important too. I remember I went to get the first cane and I went like after COVID and I said, I'm looking for a cane. He said, they're all right here. And I was like, well, I've never bought one before. This was just a few years ago. He's like, well, just pick your color. I'm like, no, I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know how to fit myself. I don't. He's like, well, just, make sure that he just talks so fast. I'm like, what? So I just laughed because I was like, so you literally had a YouTube, like what to do with the cane, how to, but it was just disappointing that, again, it's like, where did the people go that help with this stuff?
Now you're
Where
using one
his?
that you really like. What was that called?
Right now I've been using, and now you put me on the spot and I can't remember. I've been using the canes from, shoot, gosh, she's gonna kill me. And I
Oh, I
love
know.
them.
Just cut this part out right here so that you can
Yeah, Jacob,
show her
don't
that
put
I
this
asked the
on there.
question for the
I'm like right on the spot and she's gonna
I
murder
asked you the
me.
question so that you could promote, and then you blew it.
I know. So just keep this out of there. It's shoot, and I just saw it too. And I just thought I gotta, what
Don't
is it
don't
called?
don't worry about it. You're good.
It's a good because I would love to get you one. Um, what is it? It's something king. Oop, I just saw. It's a really cool. I have one like right in here. Um, I just saw it today too because I was like, oh, they've got a brand new one out right today. Like right now they do. Um, the teenage. She makes them from a wine bottle. So Jacob, just keep this out for a second. He's so good about this. He's awesome. Um, they make them in a bunch of different colors. And what is it called? Okay, you have to help me find it too. Oh, you know what? They're on my Instagram. So I'm gonna look at that because I have one that I'm walking with it. All right, here. Promise I'll just be a minute. You're falling asleep. Hold on. Swear I'll be
Oh,
fast. I'll be fast. I'll be fast. Where is this one? He moved it to the bottom because it was always at the top forever. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it is really. It's so weird. I have it on here and it's not. That's weird. It has it on there. It doesn't have the why would it
Right.
not have the on there?
Interesting.
I have it right there without the cane. I mean, I've got the cane with me, and I'm gonna be so angry with myself. Uh,
Flash here.
okay, let me take one more second. I just went right past, and they're so they're so cool. I really like the bottom of them, and you can get any kind of handle on the top. They're so comfy and they don't move. Um, she's gonna have me do like exercises with them, so it's really weird that it showed up with it. So she's gonna have me do exercises with the cane. Okay, here it is.
This
Okay, so it's called
Brandy Flask Smuggler.
I know.
Candy Cane. This one, Candy Cane one, and it is
Goldberg.
So weird. I don't have. It looks like this. So it looks like a little can. Can you see that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm on here. I'm like, why would I not have?
Well, it looks
Looks
like
like
a Bo Peep
a
kind of.
crozier, like a bishop's crozier.
Yeah, and it's really cool because she does them. Finest. How are you starting this yourself, little Grace? Why would I not have? That's just so weird that I wouldn't have them.
Oh, that's okay.
I'll get it to
I
you.
didn't say that.
Um, super cool. Okay, I'll send it to you. It's driving me nuts that it wouldn't be on here because it's I don't know. But anyway, it's a really cool. I really, really love. I'm gonna work with her, like I said again, to try to do some exercise if you're seated and all you can use is a cane. Why I can't remember the name, I don't know. So, Jacob, back to it. We're just not going to talk about the cane. So, I think it is cool to find one. When I go to see my best friend in Colorado, the kids call it the lightsaber or the candy cane. Okay, so I think
Yeah.
it's a really important thing to find one that you're
Pass that
comfortable
on the
with.
screen.
Yeah, we'll put
Yeah.
that. Okay. So, one of the other questions that I have for you both is, um, one of the things that is that so you know already you've got to be your biggest advocate. Are there times when you are just too tired to advocate? And are those the times that you ask mom and dad, like, can you just help me do this today? Because I'm so sick and tired
Oh
of
my word.
advocating.
I honestly they're much more advocates for me than I am.
And how does that make you feel, Dad? Does it make you feel like, yes, I can because I really want to and
Well, I
I
mean,
can do something?
there's a sad upside to the whole thing, which is that Jane is more open to receiving than she was early in or more earlier on in our relationship.
No pride for me these days.
Yeah, it kind of goes.
So I'm really grateful for the chance to, connect with her,
Yeah,
and I hope I have the I hope I we can continue to have
yeah,
this once she's feeling great.
yeah. I like that for
Good for
sure.
our relationship. Yeah.
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 Mhm.
That's really awesome. So I kind of want to now, like, as we're coming to kind of a close, just that I want to know about because we understand with MS that we go to Mexico and a lot of us get HSCT. I've not had that. Um, but a lot of people are doing that, and there's kind of like pros and cons, like with everything. And so with what you've got, that silly Lyme disease, that isn't a big deal that you have. Um, so when you go there to do you have any idea what to expect as you're kind of looking into this? What is it that will be happening for you if you absolutely know, or if you're just kind of looking into it?
I mean, honestly, I don't know uh that much yet. I've heard so many good things from a whole lot of like just totally disparate people have brought this up spontaneously that
Mhm.
like
I
they're
think it's
good.
at the same hospital. I
Yeah.
think you're in the same, yeah. And all I've heard are amazing things.
Yeah. So I have a lot of hopes for that. But it does seem like they run a lot of tests there on the site and
Yeah.
alter their prescriptions for you then and there when you arrive. So I've researched what procedures they have available, but it'll be
Okay.
to see which ones they decide are particularly going to be of use to me.
So
So you do a lot of research. That's great. You
one
really
thing they
do.
talked
Dad,
about is real quick is this
mhm,
plasmapheresis where they replace everything. But then if you don't, but then they introduce stem cells right
uh,
after, so that
okay.
the right kinds of things so that it can kind of generate the right kinds of blood, I suppose. Um,
We're
Is it
having
your own stem cell or what it?
no.
no, no, they're from a placenta.
Okay.
And you can get a lot more in Mexico than you can in the US and for significantly less money.
So you're
Um,
not going to go to Russia? Just kidding.
this particular client, uh, um, no,
Not a
but
good time.
I have a lot of hope for the stem cells,
Mhm.
specifically because tomorrow I go in for a new treatment that's not available in the US uh,
Okay.
that we had to have shipped in from Greece.
Okay.
And it's supportive
From
oligomeric
Greece?
therapy. And
Okay.
yeah, so there's
What
there's
is that?
it's
What?
It's available for cancer and for specific types of autoimmune where they will identify your specific strain of whatever it is you have.
Okay.
And, oh, it works differently for cancer. Never mind that whole bit.
Okay.
But
I was like,
nope.
don't know
But
that.
I know that this lab also does a lot of treatments,
Okay.
lab in Greece, but they specifically for Lyme, they
Mhm.
identify your unique strain because there's a lot
Interesting. Yeah. Which again, people don't know that.
you don't realize, and
So,
then, they will give you this injection, which is, meant to stop the RNA of
okay.
that bacteria so it can't reproduce. So I'm getting that tomorrow and
Okay.
hopes for that success there. But because we've tried it once before and it had some success, but not enough.
Okay. Okay.
So we're hoping to do it again with the boost of the stem cells and
Okay. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. You got to keep us posted. We want to know how that goes.
Mhm. Yeah, I have high hopes.
Yeah, for sure. So, mom and dad, how does that, do you get really excited when this happens? Or is it like a excited, but like, I want to be supportive. I want to make sure that we're here if it doesn't? What is
We've
that
kind of
like for
taken
mom and
more of
dad?
a Zen kind of approach of like, just to let what comes come,
Yeah.
and with hope, always that,
Yeah.
and faith that that
Yeah.
the miracle. So
Yeah. I don't know how people do this without faith. I have to say, like, good vibes. And I'm like, I don't know how you do that because faith for me is the only thing that gets me through this. Um, so I don't know how people, I don't know.
Be a lot harder.
But yeah, for
mm.
sure. But
Yeah,
I
it's
do,
hard to imagine how not having a kind of a connection or a relationship with your higher power,
yeah,
um, how to find meaning in any of this.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do like summer vibes, get through it. I'm like, okay, winter vibes, get through it. I don't know that that would be the thing that would like charge
Mm.
me up and get me through some of these days. I
Yeah,
don't think
right.
that would work for you either. So I just don't
Well, I
see
gotta
that.
say though, the summer vibes, my hollyhocks are like 9 feet tall just outside my
Oh,
window.
nice.
That's getting me through a lot.
I'll just show you. I'll take
That's part of
a
God.
video, show you that I'm like, I didn't grow as much. I'm my nerdiness. I got really into really I was just growing everything. I'm like, I could do green beans, I can garden, I can do everything. So I had to like limit this year, but I'm really excited about the stuff I am growing. So I'll show you some of that. So I think we have to find that. One of the best advice I got from early on is an older woman came up to me, and number one was, and the gentleman said, don't stop moving and find something that you've not done. So I always tell people that when I talk to them now is whether it's movement or something, don't try to compare what you used to be able to do and try something new like you've been doing. And so I found, I don't know why I tried running. So I never did endurance running. I played a lot of sports. So I tried endurance running. So I fell a lot, but I thought I've never done it. So let's do that. So I think it's neat to try something that you can't compare what you were before. So I don't know if that helps, but maybe trying something that you've not done and seeing, which you already are, but trying something that you've not done before.
Mm,
That is, yeah, I can see
yeah,
the wisdom in that.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious, I asked you this question, and what would you say to someone who doesn't, first off, who doesn't understand what Lyme disease is? They don't have any understanding. How, and I'll ask you both, how would you explain it to someone?
Oof. I actually don't know that I'm the best exemplar or, just because I kind of have this unique variation on it where I don't have a lot of the fairly miserable side effects
Yeah.
that a lot of people with Lyme have. Um, I'm just very, very
And
tired.
that's okay. I don't
Um,
think I explained it to people for a long time.
Well, that's
So,
the hard thing about the whole thing is because, these autoimmune symptoms are so generalizable and they cross over so
right,
broadly. It's not like, oh, there's the femur and it's in two pieces.
right,
Like it's like
yeah.
there's lots of different crossover on symptoms. And so
for sure.
well, it is a little bit of
I think
fishing trip.
the most
Yeah.
important thing if you're brand new to Lyme is, don't do what I did, which is the attempt to push through.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, no, no,
Yeah.
no, you will be paying for that.
And most of us do. I think it's either one or the other. Either we sit down and say, that's it, or we just go. I
Yeah,
think
well,
it's
know,
personality.
it's kind of a virtue is to push through pain and
Yeah.
fatigue to do something. And you have to kind of recalibrate that to think that that is not a virtue. That's a dumb
Yeah.
move. Don't
Yeah.
do it.
Yes. Yeah. Dad, how
Yeah.
if someone came up to you and said, "Hey, what is Lyme?" What would you say? Would you have a way to just kind of compact to someone after the pandemic has about a 30-second ability to listen? What would you say?
Autoimmune disorder. Uh, it'll knock you on your butt. There's not exactly a set cure, but there's a lot of treatments, so just keep bouncing around until you.
That's so good because that's about what they could hear. They'd be like, "All right, cool." So, Dad, what would yours be?
I would recommend that they do get the SOT uh, diagnostics because America doesn't have a wide range, partly because
The
it's
test is called Vibrant Wellness.
vibrant
Thank
wellness,
you.
and because yeah, because America's system doesn't really include a lot of uh, depth into this.
Yeah.
So that's one way of knowing.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I definitely say even if your test came back negative for Lyme, that doesn't actually mean anything.
Yeah. I
Um,
like that.
so, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last thing, then I would say newly diagnosed, really struggling, feeling like, What?
Mhm.
How do you encourage that person?"
Uh,
Either one can go first.
it's kind of like, you know, like how plants need winter and you kind of need a rest period.
Ooh, I love that.
Some good ways to think about this as like it can be a very useful experience for you and very healthy to go through a winter where a lot of the usual expectations no longer apply and you get to
Mhm.
kind of think about who you are in the absence of what you do.
Yeah, wow, that's really reframing. I love that. You're so good at that. That's
Thanks.
beautiful. Gosh, I love that. Can you do that and I can, like, frame it?
She'll calligraphy it.
That's
Yes, with
beautiful,
my
beautiful.
excess time and energy.
Yeah,
Well, I love that.
that is beautiful. I love that. Dad, can you make that one better? Probably not, but
I'm
that's
gonna
really
let me look at Chat GPT for just a second.
Yeah, yeah, one of me.
that was really good. What would you say, Dad? You have someone coming up to you and their daughter, their son, what would you say? They're lost. They're feeling like as a parent, I don't even know how to help.
Say, well, yeah, that's exactly how it is. That's what I would say. You don't know exactly how to help, and that's something you learn to, live with, and then prayerfully, in my view, just ask what the next best thing you can do, and
Yeah,
then try to have the courage to do that.
It's true because there might not be a right answer, but there's
right.
a good enough answer, and there's one,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
That
I
makes
Yeah.
love those. But you guys are awesome. And, I love your dad, Jane, and I haven't met your mom yet, but I'm going to have them on sometime.
okay.
So I love your dad. I love you. It's so great to meet you. I was so excited to have you on. And I really I know you've been exhausted and I know you're loving your couch.
Oh, yeah.
And, but I
I was
really
starting to enjoy
appreciate
it.
you being on here and just explaining because I think it's so important that we understand the different autoimmune diseases. And sometimes we get stuck into one and we're just talking about one over and over, and we don't understand the other ones and how they do mimic each other, and how sometimes we pack them on like Pokemon cards and we just keep getting more and more. And that's what I keep saying my body's doing. I'm like, okay, enough, we're done. So I
You don't
really
gotta collect them
appreciate
all.
I'm like, I don't need to collect anymore. I get it. I can now feel the pain of others. I get it. I don't need it anymore. So I really truly appreciate you both coming on and just sharing just what it's like as a family too. It's very unique as a dad and daughter how that works, because I get it as a patient and a mom, how I want to take it away, but I understand as a patient too, to be able to try to talk about the ick that goes with it as well. And, the poop, the pee, all the stuff that goes with it, the anxiety, the sleeping, all that.
Thanks, Kathy, for being that kind of person who can get the kind of the emotion because you've been there, and it just speaks a lot for you, but also just how valuable it is to have people who are sharing the same kind of mortal experience.
Very validating.
Yeah. So yeah, you have a
Yeah, for
nice
sure.
conversational style, so we appreciate it. So thanks.
Thank you. Well, promise you guys, I'd love to have you guys back after maybe you go to do this thing in Mexico. And I'd love to have you guys back to see how you guys are doing later on. But thank you so much for being here and explaining. And guys, don't forget to hit subscribe. And thank you both for doing this. And you go night night. And I'll see you guys back. So guys, don't forget, we'll see you guys next time on Move It or Lose It. And don't forget, what you don't move, you will lose. So keep moving. And I will see you next time. Bye, guys. Thanks for being
Bye-bye.
on. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of the Move It or Lose It podcast. It would mean the world to me if you subscribed and left a review. Remember, you can find me on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and YouTube. New episodes of the Move It or Lose It podcast air every other Wednesday. If you have any suggestions for future guests or topics, please visit my website at www.msdisrupted.com. Until next time.